Hello everyone, this side Manish Guliani. I hope you all are doing well, safe at your respected places. 2 days ago, I uploaded a quiz of operation research on my YouTube channel, and you all have given a fabulous response. So, in today's video, I will explain the solution part of that quiz along with the detailed explanation so that your theory portion will be covered. So, let's start with the question number 1, operation research, which is a very powerful tool for research, operations, decision making, none of the above. If you remember, during each chapter I always used to say one line, OR is all about decision making and problem solving. So correct answer on the basis of this line that I repeated so many times in every chapter at the end. Meanwhile, before starting of that chapter, I always used to say OR is all about decision making and problem solving. So correct answer is option C, decision making. So that is the correct answer, decision making. Reason being, as you know, first step in OR any problem is formulated into mathematical model. Then optimal solutions are derived. So on the basis of optimal solution, you have to decide this one is your best solution or not. That's what it's called decision making. Plus, it is a helpful tool used to solve complex problems of business in the world of uncertainty. As you know, our business environment operate in the world of uncertainty. Then you have to take decision. So that's why it's called OR is all about decision making and problem solving. So operation research, which is a very powerful tool for decision making. Now the second question, physical model is an example of iconic model, analog model, verbal model, mathematical model. Before disclose the answer, firstly I will explain what is iconic model, what is analog model, what is verbal model, what is mathematical model. Now what is iconic model? So iconic model means these models provide a physical appearance of real object under study, either reduce in a size or scale up. Let me explain with the help of example like toy aeroplane. Toy aeroplane is a iconic model of real aeroplane. Suppose you want to conduct any research on real aeroplane, it can't be possible in practical life, it's not feasible. So you design a toy aeroplane. So that's called iconic model. It means these models are useful only in design problem because they are easy to observe, build and describe. So these models are simple to conceive, specific and concrete. Second one is analog model. Analog model simply means they behave like a real situation but they are not real situation. Means these models do not like the real situation but represent and behave like a real situation. Like let me explain with the help of example like map. A map is an analog model which shows roads, highways, towns, other geographical feature. If you see the map of any country, suppose if you see the map of Delhi metro station, you can easily identify this point is this point is this point is this. So that's the example of analog model that behave like a real situation. Like take an example, organizational structure, organizational chart of any company. If you see the organizational chart of any company, you can easily identify that these person are superior, these person are subordinates. That chart define the authority responsibility relationship between the person of that company. So that's the examples of analog model. Third one is verbal model. As per name says, verbal model means your physical model. These models describe a situation in written or spoken language, like written sentences, books. That are the example of verbal model. So physical model is an example of verbal model. Last one is mathematical model. So mathematical model means these model involve the use of mathematical symbols, letters, numbers, mathematical operators. It means these model use symbols, all symbols related to mathematics. So that's called mathematical model. Clear? So on the basis of explanation of each model, you can easily guess verbal model is the example of physical. So physical model is example of verbal model. So option C is your correct option. Now third option, Who coined the term operation research? Options are A option J.F. McCloskey, B. F.N. Trefton, P.F. Adams, both A and B. And the correct answer is option D. Most of the time I explain this question during the introduction of operation research. So option D, both A and B. These are the two authors who coined the term operation research. Clear? Next question. The term operation research was coined in the year 1950, 1940, 1978 or 1960. And the correct option is 1940. B option is the correct option during World War II. Clear? When military army or when British army was facing a problem with limited resources. So on that time they invited experts from different fields. They invited scientists. That word operation was came from military. So it was coined in the year of 1940. So answer B. Now next question. This innovative science of operation research was discovered during World War II. In previous question I have explained the answer. So option C is your correct answer during World War II when military army was facing a problem of limited resources. So they invited scientists to solution how to use maximum utilization of these limited resources. Question number 6. Operation Search was known as an ability to win a war without really going into a battlefield, fighting war both A and B. Again, I use my statement. OR is all about decision making and problem solving. OR never believes in dispute, war, fighting. The main purpose of OR to find the optimum solution without fighting, without war, without battlefield. So the answer is both A and B. Option D is your correct option. Operation Research was known as an ability to win a war without really going to battlefield or fighting. Question number 7. Operation Research emphasizes on the overall approach to the system. This characteristics of operation research is often referred as system orientation, system approach, interdisciplinary, and team approach. Or this emphasize on the overall approach to the system. This characteristics of operation research is often referred as. First of all, I will explain the characteristics of OR. There are mainly 5 characteristics of OR. First characteristic is decision making approach. OR is decision making approach means under OR first step, identify the problem, then search alternate, then converted your problem into artificial model, then finding out the model, then evaluate all the alternates, then choose best alternate. Means you have to follow whole your decision making process. That's why it calls decision making approach. Second one is scientific approach. As I already told, first step in OR any problem is mathematical model. So with the help of these mathematical tools and technique, firstly real problems are converted into mathematical model. After that optimal solutions are derived. So that's why it's called scientific approach. Means it's not a layman approach. Means from my point of view, if you think so okay, this answer is best answer, so I have to choose this answer. OR is not about all that. Means under OR you have to use various mathematical tools, technique. By using mathematical tools and technique you have to convert your real problem into artificial problem, means mathematical problem, then solutions are derived. That's why it's called scientific approach. Third one is objective oriented approach. Objective oriented approach means under OR first step you have to identify your problem, means that your objective. Suppose your problem is sale maximization, so that's the objective. Same time that's the objective of organization. I have to maximize my sale. Clear? So it works according to objective of the organization. So firstly you have to define your objective, that is your problem. So that's why it's called objective oriented approach. And fourth approach is a characteristic holistic approach. Holistic approach simply means कि while arriving at a decision and OR teams examining the relative importance of all conflicting and multiple objectives and the validity of claims of various departments of the organization from the perspective of whole organization. In simple word, if I have to explain this point, if you suppose your problem is sale maximization, so OR team will not consider only sales department, he will also consider purchase department, finance department as well. Reason being, OR teams believe all departments are interrelated. So that's why it's called holistic approach, whole approach. Last feature is interdisciplinary approach. Interdisciplinary approach simply means कि according to this approach, according to this characteristics, OR believe no single individual can be expert in all fields. No single individual can be expert in all aspects of the problem. So under OR you invited various experts from the various field. So that's why it's called interdisciplinary team approach. You invited various experts from different fields. And the now the answer is over emphasize on the overall approach of the system, means holistic approach of the system. Means holistic approach simply means consider each and every aspect of the organization, that is totally based on your team approach. So the correct answer is D answer, that is your team approach. Reason being, OR always believe in holistic approach. कि consider each and every aspect of the organization, each and every conflicted or multiple objectives of the organization. Check every department of the organization from the perspective of whole organization. So it needs team approach. The answer is team approach. Now, question number 8. Operation research can't give perfect two problems. Answer: solution, both A and B, and decision. And the correct answer is C option, both A and B. Reason being, OR, the main feature of OR always guides about the worst answer. Whatever answer you obtain by solving the equation, it may be or may not be the best answer. Reason being, we operate in the world of uncertainty. We in the environment of uncertainty. You can't say this answer is the best answer. OR always guide about the worst answer. OR never tells about this one is the best answer, best solution. So the correct answer is can't give perfect answer and solution, but give perfect worst answer. That's the main feature of OR. Now the question number 8. Operation research study generally involves how many phases? 4, 3, 5, 2. These are the 4 options. Now I will tell you, operation research study generally involves 3 phases. So correct answer is B option. Now what the 3 phases of OR? First is judgment phase. Under judgment phase, this phase consists of identify the real life problem. First of all, you have to set your objective. You have to identify your problem. Second step under judgment phase, selection of an appropriate objectives and values related to your objective function. Means you have to define all the assumptions, all the parameters that is related to your problem. You have to define under this step. Then you have to measure the effectiveness of each objective, measure the effectiveness of each feature. Means in one word, if I have to explain judgment phase, under judgment phase you have to explain whole process of decision making. Identify the problem, search alternates, effectiveness, construction into mathematical model. So all steps of decision making you have to explain under judgment phase. Second phase, most important phase, research phase. It is the most important, largest, longest phase among other 2 phases. Means under research phase you have to do research related to your problem in form of questionnaires, survey, observation, as well as you have to establish hypothesis of your problem. So that's why it's the most important phase. So that's the research phase. Means conduct all the observation, research, data collection for the better understanding of problem, formulation of hypothesis and model, observation, experiment to the test of hypothesis on the basis of additional data, analysis the data, then prediction of various results from the hypothesis. All these things you have to done under research phases. Last is action phase. Action phase simply means whatever answer you obtain through your research phase, you have to implement that answer in real life. So that is the action phase. So in OR there are mainly three phases: judgment, research, and action phases. So correct answer is 3. So option B is your correct answer. Next, question number 10. In that dash models, everything is defined and results are certain. Again, a very easy one. Identify the keywords. Everything is defined, results are uncertain. So correct answer is deterministic model B. Deterministic model I already explained. Under deterministic model, everything is defined, everything is certain. You no need to guess. There is no scope of assumption, guessing under deterministic model. So probabilistic model, as per names, are based on probability. It may be or may not be happen. So correct answer is deterministic model. So B is your correct answer. कि under this everything is well known, decision maker has complete knowledge of each and every alternate. So that's why it's called deterministic model. Reason being everything is well certain. In dash model there is a risk and uncertainty. Again a very easy one, just opposite from 10th question. Under that question everything is certain and defined, but under this risk and uncertainty, so answer is A, probabilistic model. Where there is involved of risk, uncertainty, there is involved element of risk. So answer is probabilistic model. In probabilistic model there is a risk and uncertainty both. Means you have to guess. It may rain today, it may rain not today. Now question number 12. Operation research attempt to find the best and that solution to the problem. Optimum solution, perfect solution, degenerate solution, or none of the above. I already explained. Whatever answer you obtain, it may be or may not be the best answer, but definitely guide about the worst answer. The correct answer is option A, optimum answer. Because whatever answer you obtain, it may be or may not be the best answer. Best means perfect answer, but OR always guide about the worst answer. So option is, main objective of OR is to find the optimum answer. So optimum is your best answer or solution of this question. Now question number 13. That are called mathematical model. Iconic model, analog model, symbolic model, none of the above. I already explained mathematical model, and the correct answer is option C, symbolic model. Reason being, I explained mathematical model means which uses symbols, addition, multiplication, subtraction. So answer is symbolic model. Under this you use all the mathematical terms, letters, symbolic. So option C is your correct option. Now question number 14. That are expressed is in the form of inequalities or equation, constraints, objective function, both A and B, none of the above. This question is related to your linear programming, and the correct answer is constraints. Reason being, under constraint, first step linear programming, you have to convert your constraint, means you have to convert all the inequalities into equalities. Objective function always in the form of profit or cost, but in constraint always we use less than sign, greater than sign. So here we are talking about inequalities or equation. So that's your constraint is your uh, correct answer. So option A is your correct answer. Constraints are always expressed in form of inequalities or equations where conditions are put. If there are more than one optimum solution for the decision variable, the solution is easy one. If there are more than one optimum solution, the answer is multiple optimum solution, other name is alternate. So answer is option, correct option is C option. If there are more than one optimum solution for the decision variable, the solution is called alternate solution, also known as multiple optimum solution, means having more than one solution. Clear? Now question number 6. The dummy source or destination in a transportation problem is added to. Options are satisfied ring condition, prevent solution from becoming degenerate, ensure that total cost does not exceed a limit, None of the above. And the correct answer is option A, satisfied rim condition. Correct answer is dummy source or destination in transportation problem. When you have to set dummy row, dummy column, when total of supply and demand is not equal. So answer is satisfied rim condition. Reason being, when total of supply demand is not equal, then you have to insert a dummy row or dummy column. So condition of inserting a dummy row or dummy column is totally dependent on the balance or unbalanced problem. So option A is the correct answer. Now the occurrence of degeneracy while solving a transportation problem means total supply is equal total demand. The solution not obtained is not feasible. The fuel allocation became negative. None of the above. The occurrence of degeneracy. Now you know the meaning of degeneracy. Degeneracy means simply means when m plus n minus 1 not equal to occupied cell. So first option, total supply equals total demand. That's the problem of balance problem. There's a no word we use under this option is degeneracy. Second is the solution so obtained is not feasible. When feasible solution is possible, when there is a no condition of degeneracy. So option B is your correct option. The occurrence of degeneracy while solving a transportation problem means solution so obtained is not feasible. Means firstly you have to remove degeneracy. After that you obtain your optimal answer. Without removing degeneracy, you can't calculate your feasible answer or optimal answer. So firstly you have to remove degeneracy. Now the question number 18, an alternate optimal solution to a minimization transportation problem exists whenever opportunity cost corresponding to unused route of transportation positive or greater than 0, positive with at least 1 equal to 0, negative with at least 1 equal to 0, none of the above. If you remember, in transportation you have to make statement of cost table. In statement of cost table, if your all signs have positive sign, that is your optimal solution. If any value comes equal to 0, that is your multiple optimal solution. Whenever you make your statement of cost table, finding the opportunity cost column value delta ij equal to Cij minus ui plus Vj. Third column is net cost change and fourth column is remarks. I hope you remember the format of table. Last column is remarks. If answer comes in a positive, then remark will be net cost increases. If answer comes in a negative, remarks is net cost decreases. If answer comes equal to 0, we mention it's a case of multiple optimal solution. So multiple optimal solution means alternate optimal solution. When values comes equal to 0, so value comes equal to 0 positive with at least 1 equal to 0. So option B is your correct option. When your values comes equal to 0, that's a case of multiple optimal solution. So answer is option B. Clear? Next question is 19. One disadvantage of using north-west corner method to find initial solution to the transportation problem is that it is complicated to use. It does not take into account cost of transportation. It leads to degenerate initial solution, all of the above. One disadvantage of north-east corner method, first method of your initial solution, NWCM. NWCM method, if you remember the steps of NWCM, first step, start from left side upper cell, then move zigzag. It doesn't consider cost value. So answer is option B. It does not take into account cost of transportation. The reason being, it always start from left side upper cell, that is prefix, then move zigzag. It doesn't matter cost is this. He always move as per their rules, always start from left side upper cell and move zigzag. So it does not consider cost of transportation. So that's the main disadvantage. Without without considering the cost of transportation, how can you expect anyone can reduce your cost? You have to consider your cost. So that's the main disadvantage of this method. It doesn't consider cost of transportation. So option B is your correct option. Now question number B. The solution to a transportation problem with m rows means supply and n columns means destination is feasible if number of positive allocations are m plus n, m into n, m plus n minus 1, m plus n plus 1. If you know the condition of degeneracy, you can easily identify the answer after solving the problem through WAM method, NWCM method, LCM method. You have to check when m plus n minus 1 not equal to occupied cell. That's the case of degeneracy. The formula is m plus n minus 1. So option C is your correct option. The solution of transportation problem is feasible if number of positive allocations are m plus n minus 1. If not equal, that's the case of degeneracy. When equal, that's your feasible solution. So option C is your correct answer. Next question number 21. When total supply is equal to total demand in a transportation problem, the problem is said to be when total supply is equal to total demand. When total supply is equal to total demand, that's the first step of transportation problem. Identify cases balanced or unbalanced. Balanced case when total of supply is equal to total of demand. Case is balanced. So answer is option B, balance problem. Even total supply is equal to total of demand, problem is said to be balance problem. That's the first step of transportation problem. Now the question number 22nd. The method used for solving an assignment problem is called reduced matrix method, Hungarian method, Modi method, or none of the above. The method used for solving an assignment problem is called reduced matrix method, Hungarian method, Modi method, or none of the above. I always used to say only one method for solving your assignment problem, that is only Hungarian method. The method name is Hungarian method. So answer is your B. The method used for solving an assignment problem is called Hungarian method. One and the only method for solving assignment problem is called Hungarian method. There is no other method for solving assignment problem. There is only one method, the monopoly for solving this method, that's called Hungarian method. Now the question number 23. The purpose of a dummy row or dummy column in assignment problem is to obtain balance between activity and resources, prevent a solution from becoming degenerate, provide a mean of representing a dummy column, or none of the above. The problem of dummy row or dummy column in assignment problem. What the objective? To insert a dummy row or dummy column. So that problem could be balance problem. So balance problem means under assignment only two things are given, activities and resources. So on the basis of those keywords we can easily identify the answer. Option A is your correct answer. Obtain balance between activities and resources. Reason being option B, degenerate. There's no concept you have studied degeneracy under assignment problem. Clear? So main objective to insert a dummy row or dummy column so that your problem could be balanced between activities and resources. So option A is a correct option. Clear? Now the question number 24. The assignment problem requires that only one activity be assigned to each resource. Is a special case of transportation, can be used to maximize resources, all of the above. The assignment problem is required only one activity be assigned to one resource. That's the main objective of assignment. If you remember, each row, each column, only one assignment is possible. Plus, under assignment, you have to solve traveling salesmanship problem that is related to your transportation. That could be an answer of your question. Can be used to maximize resources. Every firm want my profit be maximized. That could be also an answer. And last one is all of above. So answer is all of above. Option D is your answer. Clear? It means assignment problem requires that only one activity be assigned to each resource. Also a special case of transportation and can be used to maximize resources. So all of our is your answer. Now the question number 25. The Hungarian method for solving an assignment problem can also be used to solve traveling salesmanship problem, a transportation problem, a LP problem, both A and B. Under Hungarian method, if you remember, under assignment method, from the beginning of every chapter, I always used to mention topic to be covered under this chapter. So under assignment chapter, if you remember the topic maximization case, multiple optimal solution, minimization case, restriction on assignment, miscellaneous cases, traveling salesmanship problem. So answer is traveling salesmanship problem is a part of assignment problem. Neither transportation problem nor LP problem. It itself is separate chapter of operation research. So correct answer is option A, traveling salesmanship problem. The Hungarian method of solving an assignment problem can also be used to solve a traveling salesmanship problem. Clear? Now the question number 26. An optimal solution of an assignment problem can be obtained only if an optimal solution of an assignment problem can be obtained. When you obtain your optimal solution, each row, each column has only one zero element. Each row and column has at least one zero element, and the data is arranged in a square matrix or none of the above. The optimal solution of assignment problem, if you remember the condition of assignment problem, when you reach the answer of assignment problem, when the total number of assignment is equal to total number of rows and column, when this thing has been done, on that point you can say my optimal solution is this. So the answer is each column has only one zero element. Each row, each column has at least one zero element, and data is arrangement in a square matrix, none of the above. When the total assignment done equal to number of rows and column, that's the condition of optimal solution, or that is not given in any option. So answer is none of the above. Option D is your answer. Reason being, if the number of assigned cell, if number of assignment is equal to number of rows and column, on that time you can say this one is our optimal solution. So option D, none of the above, that is the answer. Now question number 27. The objective function and constraints are linear relationship between variables, constraint, function, all of the above. The objective function and constraint are linear relationship between it always in case of variables. So option A is your correct answer. The objective function and constraints are linear relationship between variables. Reason being, the objective function constraints are linear relationship between variables. It means that no variables can be multiplied with each other. This formulation is called the standard form. As you suppose, if you see the equations of LP, you observe one thing: every equation is different from another equation, or every equation totally depend upon, every equation play important role in your achieving your objective function. So that's why it's called a linear relationship, curvy relation. Suppose if you increase your resources, then your objective function values also increases. Suppose you want to earn 10,000 rupees profit by or with the help of two labor. When you want to increase your profit level, now you are thinking I have to increase my profit. So earlier my motive was 10,000 unit. Now my motive is 15,000 unit. If you increase your profit level, definitely you have to increase the resources level. So that's why there's always a linear relationship. If you increase the level of resources, definitely it will increase the level of your profit. So that's why option A is your correct answer. Then question number 28, all the parameters in linear programming models are assumed to be variables, constraints, function, or none of the above. In previous question I explained all the parameters are linear programming totally based on constraints, equations. So option B is your correct option. All the parameters in the linear programming are assumed to be constraints. For a problem to be linear programming problem, the decision variable, objective function, constraint all have to be linear function. Means if you want to increase your profit, you have to increase the value of your constraint. You have to increase the level of your resources. So answer is variable. Next question number 29. Graphic method can be applied to solve a LPB when there are only dash variable, one, more than two, one, two, or three. I explained this thing so many times during the chapter. LP graphic method always used in case of two variables. So option C, that is a correct option. Reason being, if your variables are more than two, then you have to choose simplex method. There are mainly two methods of LP. One is graphic method, second one is simplex method. So when the variables are two, then always use, then you can choose graphic or simplex. If method name is not mentioned, that is totally up to you. But if number of variables are more than two, then always choose simplex method. Reason being, in graphic there are mainly two axes, O axis or Y axis. If you show your one variable on O axis, another variable shown on OY axis, then if you have third variable, so where you will show, so in that case you have to choose simplex method. So graphic method always use in two variable case. So option C is your correct answer. Then 30, question number 30, a minimization problem can be converted into maximization problem by changing the sign of coefficient in the constraint, objective function, both A and B, none of the above. In LP, you have studied two problem, minimization case or maximization. Suppose you have to convert your minimization case into maximization case. So just you have to multiply your objective function by minus sign. On that time you can convert it your case minimization to maximization, and vice versa also. So option B is the correct option, objective function. A minimization problem can be converted into maximization problem by changing the sign of coefficient in the objective function. Clear? Now question number 31. In maximization cases that are assigned to artificial variable as their coefficient as in the objective function, plus m, minus m, 0, none of the above. In maximization cases, in LPs under simplex method you have studied this thing. In LP problem you have to wait for minus sign, or I always repeat so many times, if case is maximization with mixed constraint, then you have to always wait for plus sign with m condition. You have to wait for minus sign with m condition, sorry, you have to wait for minus m. So in maximization case, you have to wait for minus m. So answer is minus m. So option B is your correct option. In maximization, minus m are assigned in the artificial variable as a coefficient in the objective function. Now the question number 32. In simplex method, we add dash variable in the case of equal. In simplex method, we add slack variable, surplus variable, artificial variable, none of the variable. Slack variable always used when sign is less than equal, not equal, less than equal. Surplus variable always used when sign is greater than equal. Surplus slack variable always used if sign is less than equal. Surplus variable is always used sign is greater than equal. Artificial variable is always used when sign is equal. Equal itself a equality. कि why we add surplus or surplus variable? If you remember this thing, convert all the inequalities into equalities. We add surplus or slack variable, depends upon our condition. But if constraint is equal itself, then always use artificial variable. So option C is your correct option. Neither we add surplus variable or nor slack variable in case of equal constraint. Then we use always put a1, a2, a3 in equal type constraints. So option C is your correct option. Now question number 33. In simplex method, if there is a tie between a decision variables or a slack or surplus variable, that should be selected. In simplex method, if there is a tie between Cj minus Zj, remember, if there is a tie between x and s, then always choose x. So many times I repeated this thing. Whenever you have to choose between basic variable or slack or surplus variable, always go with basic variable. Basic variable means your decision variables. So option C is your correct decision. Ki whenever you have to choose between x or s, then always choose x. X is your basic variable, means decision variable. So option C is the correct option. Ki whenever there is a tie between decision variable or surplus variable, so we should always go with decision variables. Now the question number 34. In transportation problem, degeneracy occurs in dash stages: 1 stage, 2 stage, 3 stage or 4 stage. Again a very simple one. Option B, 2 stages. One is at the time of initial solution, if you remember, or second is at the time of testing. Remember? So degeneracy occurs always in 2 stages. So option B is your correct option. First stage at the time of initial solution, second stage is at the time of testing of optimal solution when you apply Modi method. Question number 35. As for maximization in assignment problem, the objective is to maximize the profit, cost, maximization, none of the above. As you know, on what basis you can identify cases about maximization: profit, sale, revenue, selling price and cost, all things are given. You can easily identify cases, maximization case. So out of these parameter, profit is given in your options. So option A is your correct option. As for our maximization assignment problem, the objective is to maximize the profit. If your case is profit maximization, then objective is maximize the profit. If your case is minimization, then objective is minimize the cost. So answer option A is your correct option. Profit is the correct answer. Then operation research is a science, art, mathematics, both A and B. Operation research is a science, art, mathematics, both A and B. Answer is science. As I already told you, it's a scientific approach. By using mathematical tools and technique, you converted your problem into artificial structure in a mathematical model. Art depend upon the user. So answer is both A and B. The operation research is science as well as art, both. Operation research is science, reason being it uses various mathematical tools and technique or used by various scientists, economists, mathematician, because it believes in interdisciplinary approach. Every person has its own opinion. So on the basis of their opinions, you derive one optimal solution. So it is science as well as art, both. So option D is your correct option. Now question number 37. Which technique is used to finding a solution for optimizing a given objective, such as profit maximization, cost minimization under certain constraints? Coin theory, simulation, both A and B, linear programming. Again a very easy one. In which chapter you have heard the term constraints, objective function, equation, coin theory, I bet in queen theory you have not heard these types of terms: linear equations, constraints, objective simulation in both A and B. You have always heard these types of terms in linear programming. So correct answer is option D. Linear programming, as you know, it's a mathematical technique for solving constraint maximization or minimization ki by using the limited number of resources you maximize your objective function or minimization your objective function. If your case is profit, then you have to maximize your profit. If case is cost, then you have to minimize your cost. So option D. Which theory concerned making sound decision under condition of certainty, risk or uncertainty? Game theory. Under game theory, you know the main purpose is to find the saddle point. Saddle point means where the gain of one player is equal to loss of another player. Per CPM, you have to identify the critical path, means shortest route with maximum time. Decision theory, the main objective of decision theory, you have to take decision in the environment, under the environment of uncertainty, under the environment of risk, under the environment of uncertainty or certainty, or none of the above. So answer is option C, decision theory. Under decision theory, you have to take decision under the environment of risk, under the environment of uncertainty, under the environment of certainty. Now question number 39. Key concept under which technique are network of events, activities, resource allocation, time or cost consideration, network path, critical path. In which chapter you have heard all these terms? Definitely not in game theory. Network analysis, decision theory, none of the other. Correct answer is network analysis, option B. Under PERT CPM, you have to identify the critical path, you have to find out the float values, free float, total float, activities. So option B is your correct option. Which technique is used to imitate an operation prior to actual performance? Simulation, integrated production model, inventory control, game theory. So correct answer is simulation. Okay, under simulation technique, first of all, any problem is converted into mathematical model, then optimal solutions are derived. So answer is simulation. Next question. What enable us to determine the earliest and latest time? Identify the keywords for the each of the events and activities, thereby helps in identify of the critical path. Under program evaluation review technique, both A and B, development of resources. Obviously, we have heard earliest time, latest time in PERT CPM. PERT stands for program evaluation review technique. So answer is A and B. So option C is your correct option. So C means program evaluation review technique. By this technique you determine the earliest time, latest time for each of the event activities. So thereby helps in the identification of critical path. So on the basis of PERT CPM, you can easily identify the critical path, earliest time, latest time of each event. So answer is C. Linear programming technique is allocate to scale resources in optimum manner in problem of schedule, product mix, both A and B, servicing cost. Ab linear programming, under linear programming there are mainly two objectives, profit and cost, and both objective based on your product mix. So and scheduling of your labor, scheduling of your machine resources. So option A and B both. So option C is your correct option. The linear programming technique is used to allocate scarce resources in an optimum manner in problem of scheduling or product mix. So option C is your correct option. Then question number 43. The operation research technique which helps in minimize total waiting or service cost is queen theory, decision theory, both A and B, none of the above. So both words, both minimize total waiting time, service cost, all these terms you have heard in two chapters, queen theory and decision theory, or both A and B, none of the above. These two words mostly we have heard in queen theory, to reduce the waiting time. That's the main objective of queen theory. So Option A is the correct option. It means the queuing theory, the main objective is minimize total waiting time as well as service cost. So queuing theory examining every component of waiting line to be served, including the arrival process, service process, ideal time, everything you have to consider under queuing theory with the objective of minimize waiting time. So option A is your correct option. Now question number 44, which of the following is assumption of LP model? Divisibility, proportionality, additivity, all of the above. So these all are the assumption of linear programming model. So answer is D, all of the above. It's a very important part. In my previous video, last year solution paper, I had explained in detail all the assumptions of linear programming. The graphical method of LP uses objective function problem, constraint function problem, linear equations, or all of the graphical method of LP uses all things, either your objective function, constraints, linear equation. So answer is all of the above. So the main objective, the graphic method of LP uses all things, objective function, constraint, equation. So answer is D. Which is the following characteristics applying to queuing system? Customer population, arrival process, both A and B, neither A or B. Under queuing theory, you have heard customer population also as well as arrival process. So answer is C, both A and B. Reason being, under queuing theory, you also estimate the arrival process, you also estimate the customer population, your population is finite or infinite, plus what the pattern of their arrival. Also find the successive time of between two customers. So you identify the arrival process. So option C is the correct option. Reason being, identify both things, arrival process as well as customer population. Now question number 47, the purpose of using simulation technique is to imitate a real life word simulation, understand properties and operating characteristics of complex or real life problems, reduce the cost of experiment on a model of real situation, all of the above. So that's the feature of simulation. Firstly, to imitate real problem converted into artificial structure. Now why to convert real problem into artificial structure? Definitely you want to do research, or plus you want your research should be economical. So all features related to simulation technique: imitate a real world problem, understanding the problem, plus you want your cost of experiment should be economical. So all of the above is your answer. D is your correct answer. The purpose of using simulation technique to imitate a real life world problem, understand properties and operating characteristics of complex real life problem, as well as reduce the time. Question number 48. Simulation is defined as a technique that uses computer, an approach for reproducing the processes by which events by chance or change are created in a computer, a procedure for testing experiment on models to answer what if types of question, all of the above. So definitely answer is all of the above. These all are the features of simulation. So option D. Now the question number 49. When total demand is not equal to total supply in a transportation problem, the problem is said to be, options are unbalanced problem, balanced problem, degeneracy, none of the above. It is the first step of transportation problem. Identify case is balanced problem or unbalanced. If case is balanced, how can you identify case is balanced? If total supply is equal to total of demand, case is balanced. But here we are talking about when total supply is not equal to total of demand. So case is unbalanced. So option A is the correct answer. So solution is option A, unbalanced problem. When total supply is not equal to total of demand, case is unbalanced. It has two possibilities: either total supply is more than total demand, demand is more than total supply. So under this case, you have to insert dummy row or dummy column as per the requirement. If total supply is more than total demand, then you have to insert dummy column. And if a demand is more than supply, then you have to insert dummy row. So it has two possibilities, either supply more than demand or demand more than supply. So it is a case of unbalance. Now the last question. Simplex method can be applied to solve a LPP when there are dash variables. Options are two variables, more than two, both A and B, none of the above. As you know, there are mainly two methods of linear programming. One is simplex method, second one is graphic method. If method name is not mentioned, then we have to consider number of variables given in a statement. If number of variables are more than 2, then choose any method answer. If number of variables are 2, then choose any method answer will be same. If number of variables are more than 2, then always choose simplex method. Reason being, graphic method always using 2 variable case. It never using 3 variable case or more than 2 variables case. But simplex method you can use in 2 variable case or more than 2 variable case. So first option is 2, second option is more than 2. You can use in 2 case or more than 2. So answer is correct answer is C, both A and B. You can use simplex method in 2 number of variable cases or more than 2 cases. So this is the last answer of last question. Now good luck, all the very best for your Viva. Happy learning. If you face any query in any problem, you can call me anytime. Either you can put your query in the comment box. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you.